Hi, my name is Amanda Lilley, and I'm a watercolor artist. I'm also a full-time attorney. I do criminal defense work. I started painting in 2019 doing the watercolors. I had a attorney friend that bought me a subscription box for a watercolor box, and it would send the papers, your paints, and a link for a tutorial on how to do the actual painting. And so I think it was a 3-month subscription, and at the end of that she bought me another one in return for me painting her dogs. So I ended up with 6 months of tutorials, and the website also had additional tutorials that were not part of the boxes that I purchased. So that's how I started painting watercolors. My mom, though, is a professional artist, and that's what she did as a living whenever I was a child. Very talented portrait artist. So I learned everything I know from her. Once I hit adulthood, I just kind of wanted to branch out, because if you were to look at one of my portraits, it's very clear where I got my inspiration and skills from, because she taught me all her techniques. And so this was kind of a way for me to distance myself artistically from her and not be in competition, and kind of come into my own and be my own person on it. And so now she asked me how to paint my watercolors, and it's just full circle, I think. Let's see, my inspirations, I like to say that my art is kind of a spin on Impressionists, because I think most of my work is viewed or better viewed a little bit further back than that average couple of feet, like you would a Monet, at least in my opinion. So kind of a modern ink version of Impressionism. And most of my work is photographs that I take on trips, or of family members doing things. I don't like doing traditional portraiture where people are posed looking at a camera. I like to do more Americassette style. You're kind of looking at snapshots of somebody's life, being candid. So that's what I like to paint as far as people. But I love doing landscapes, because everybody kind of knows what a tree is, and it's okay if it's a little bit different. It doesn't have to be perfect, and that's what I really like about watercolor. As an attorney, I spend all my time having to be very perfect and concise, and controlled, and having to learn a little bit to let go through the watercolor has been very helpful, I think, for me as a stress relief, learning to let go, I think. So that's why I enjoy it so much. So yeah, I'm doing landscapes. The majority of what I paint is watercolor and ink, and I've got one big canvas on acrylic that a friend gave me that fell off a truck, and it had a cut in it, and so he got it for free, and encouraged me to branch out and do a big 3-foot by 5-foot acrylic. And so now I think my current project is, I bought a couple of canvases that are 2-foot by 4-foot, and I'm trying to come up with what photograph would best encapsulate that size and dimension. So trying to decide what to do there, I think, is probably my next big project. And of course the occasional commission. I right now have, it seems, a batch of pet portraits that is the current trend, and houses, I think, is what the current market is for commissions. But all of my work outside of the commissions, I don't put all of those online, but most of my work is scanned and available for viewing on my website, simply Lilley, Lilley.com, and you can find me on Instagram and Facebook under the same name. I technically have a TikTok, but I don't post anything, because if I'm creating content, I would rather it be paintings instead of videos. So that's a little snapshot of me.